Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ken, and this is my 2021 Jeep Gladiator, also known as the Freedom Gladiator. We today are going to install these diver down seat covers. Stay tuned. So the instructions tell us to start with the front seats, to take the headrests off first and start with the seat back and then the seat bottom. The most important thing that I've gathered from the instructions are that the seat covers are not interchangeable. You need to make sure that the diver down tag faces inward. This makes sure that all the holes line up properly. But let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is get these seat headrests off. So let's do that. Now, I've actually already installed the headrest covers. I wanted to see what the look was going to be. They were pretty simple. Basically, you want to make sure that your seams match the seams on the original headrest as you're inserting them. And then it's simple Velcro holding it on here. Here, there's an opening here, and then Velcro here in the middle. On the front, these are pretty simple with that. On the back, they just slide over, and when we get back there, I'll talk about those. So I've got the headrest off. Now, it says to make sure that all these holes line up properly, right? Obviously, we want to do that. And then we can actually stretch this material around the grommets that the headrests go into. So let's make sure that we have everything unvelcroed and unhooked everywhere. They're careful to say with the seat, start with the seat back first. So let's go start getting this on. They also mentioned to not tug at the seams too hard, right? Obviously, you want to be careful and take your time. You want to make sure that you're not damaging it in any way, right? So just slowly work it down. So all I'm doing here now is making sure we're lined up properly. And then we're going to start working this material around these grommets. Again, I'm just trying to make sure I'm taking my time, not ripping the material or anything like that. Right, it has some stretch obviously built into it. I want to take advantage of that and not damage it in any way. So there's the first one. Let me go ahead and grab you, and we will bring you here to see how that worked out. So you see I've got this stretched out over here, and it's really just the same process, right? I have this hole right here, this material that I need to stretch out around a grommet that's roughly the same size as this one right there. So let's start working this one. So again, I'm just picking a corner and working my way around that. Just being careful with the material as much as I can here. And you know what, I'm going to give you a tip here. I probably should have started on the side that has the button that you push in on this one. It worked out okay, but I think it might have been just a little easier if I'd started with this side. That way, make sure that I am not working against myself. Okay, now the next thing it tells me to do is to push the material through the front to the back. And then on the back here, there's some Velcro. I'll show you. So you can see I've got both of these in, and then now it's telling me to push this material through. And then on this side, there's Velcro to secure it. So let's go ahead and work on that. So the material pushing through. Okay. You have to actually, it feels like, yeah, I have to go down with the material here. To be able to get out the backside. Hoping it won't be that billowy once I've got it secured. I will say the directions are could be better. It said to ensure the holes for the headrests and the covers line up with the grommets of the seat cover between the seat base and seat back. Did that. Folding the seat forward may make this process easier. In figure 2, attach the connecting flaps at the hook and loop fasteners on the back of the seat cover. Well, figure 2 shows stretching the material over the grommets up here. Figure 3 maybe is showing the connecting, but I've got the seat all the way forward, and I don't see when I pull this back out, there's nothing. I mean, there's material for, I think, the hook and loop to connect to here, but yeah, it's not super intuitive. They give it in 3 tabs, so clearly there's something I need to work my way around. Okay, I've got the first tab, the center tab. I've got the side tab closest to the center console, and there's the third tab. Okay. Now I'm assuming I pull these down. And then up here. Okay. So I've got 3 tabs I'm working with. I'm working with one here, one in the center here, and that looks like I need to work around a cable, feels like anyway. And then a third one here. And the best I can tell is I pull these as tight as I can, and then I use this Velcro to come up underneath to attach it. So I'm going to start with the center one. The instructions don't say one way or the other which to start with, But I'm going to start with the center one because I want to make sure the center piece of that seat cover on the front is pulled as tightly as possible. So I've got a hand behind the material here, and what can I loop to? Right there. That feels like as far as I can loop. Let me see. That's better, not quite as tight as I'd like, but obviously these aren't actual replacements, these are covers, right? So I would expect replacements to be better. So I'm gonna go there, work the middle one again. Actually, I'm gonna start with this interior one and work my way toward the door. And now the middle one. And then the outside one. I'll tell you what, they don't make this easy here, because you kind of need to have these pulled tight. Like there should be a pre-loop or something. So I checked the other one for the front, and then it just has me connecting the Velcro to the loops. But if you just work your way around, I mean, I'll say that for certain this could be better. Right, because I want to pull this tight. Right? I don't want to just have it loosely connected here. And then every time I try to adjust one, it pulls loose from the other. Because you want to have a good connection. Okay, I guess that's it. All right, so the seat back is on. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little billowy here. And I've got the Velcro connected, but it's, I don't know, the way they fasten there could be a little better. Let me show you on the other one. So this is the other seat back, and here are the tabs that I was talking about. So there's 1, 2, and 3, right? And that's fine, great. I was able to push these through okay. And then they connect to this piece of Velcro here, which I'm fine with the hook and loop fastening system. It's just that in order to get the seat pulled as tight to the original, the cover tight to the actual seat, I really want to tug these, right? And to really tug these, I need to tuck them up under and into here on the back side, right? And when you pull the Velcro here to try to latch onto each one, as you go to work on the next one, this one pulls free. And then this one pulls free when you go to tackle this one. So maybe some sort of, I don't know, button system or other kind of connector to at least pre-tension it so you can do the Velcro would be a great addition to these. But we'll keep going and we'll see how it all comes together. Maybe if it is better as it wears in. We'll see. Okay, so I have the tops on both sides. And again, not thrilled with the billowing, but maybe that'll wear in. I mean, obviously, if these were actual true seat covers, the stitching would be pulled back here and into the material, and that's why. But I will say so far, better than other seat covers I've put on other cars in the past, which were just waste of money and time. But hopefully this is not, but time will tell. These bottoms, when I read the directions, I don't see much in the way of telling me how to do this, but obviously you have these little clips. These will stretch over. This is for the driver's side. It has the knobs so you can work the lumbar support here. And these hooks, I assume you just find a place to hook them onto. These will clip front to back, I imagine, to help hold it on. Let's see how this goes. Take my watch off for this, so don't get it all scratched up. Okay, so how this goes. Here. This works around this knob. So let's start there. Because that should give us a reference of some kind. I've got the fasteners drooped down here. There is a mini hook here that will latch onto something, I imagine, underneath. Same goes for here. And then I gotta fish these cords down like I did the tabs for the seat back. I don't know. They told me to start with the seat backs as opposed to the bottoms. Feels like it might have been easier to start with the bottoms, but we'll see. Got one strap down. Here comes the other strap. Cinch these as tight as I can to pull this in. Okay, looks like this one, this hook on this side needs to get down below the lever that jacks the seat up. So I'll have to find something to clip that to underneath here. This side, I don't know. All right, well, I have these underneath. I need to push these forward. So I'm loosening these up as far as they'll go so that I can get them pushed forward. Come here. While I'm down here, I'm feeling under the seat to make sure I'm not going to catch or pinch anything. I also have pretty decent visibility All right, the first one is clipped in. Starting to pull that tight. And now let's get the other one. You can actually pull from the side here a little bit too, which is nice. Okay. Now, what I really wish is that you pulled on the back side to tighten them. Because that's what would hold it tight against the back of the seat. All right, if I was cinching down back here as opposed to up here, it would ensure a much tighter pull to sink this back in, right? Because that's ultimately what you want. You don't want a gap there, which I felt was starting to form. Now I gotta get these other two hooks in place. This one and then one on the other side. So I just found something metal to clip that side onto. This side I'm trying to get fished down to a place where I can grab it back there. Ow, that hurt. Feels like it needs to go underneath. Or it wants to go underneath. Okay, so I have the front seat covers installed. The key to not injuring your finger when working with the hook that goes on this side is a panel puller tool. You hook it on here, hold it tightly, go through here, and then work it down on the back side. That was more difficult than it needed to be. I finished. I have all the seat covers in, front and back. The language got a little colorful on the back, so I didn't really record a lot of that, or actually any of that. The tops weren't that bad. The passenger side with the bigger piece has a zipper here in the middle. Velcros all the way across the bottom. There's splits for the headrests and for the seat belt and such, because these headrests don't actually come off, which is why these covers just slide on as opposed to Velcro on like the front ones. I will say that the Velcro, the hook part of the Velcro kept grabbing when I didn't want it to, so it was a little frustrating. The bottom, even though this flips up, it has several straps that latch it. The most difficult part on the bottom for each was the safety latches for car seats. Stretching the material around here, especially along the bottom, all the way around, was incredibly frustrating. But the look is pretty good. I think I achieved what I wanted to as far as looks go. Contrasting the black and red nicely. The part where this isn't like sunk in right against the seat, that's what you're going to get with a car cover, right? I guess really is the point. I know I had some consternation about that earlier in the installation process, but if it's not a true seat covering replacement that actually replaces the existing seat cover, right, this is the best you're going to get, right? Because there's nothing to sink this down into those corners, right? It's just the way it is. But you know, considering I don't want to spend $1,500 on a set of, you know, leather seats or anything like that, this is a pretty decent alternative. After I've looked at these for a while, I will give an update video to see how they're working for me. So far, I like the look, and we'll have to go from there for the performance, right? We'll have to see if they start pulling away from the seats or if they start sliding one way or the other. That's a problem I've had with cheap seat covers in the past on some old other cars that I've had. But those were, to be fair, those were generic seat covers. These are specifically designed for this vehicle. So I have much higher expectations and hopes for these. We do have a big road trip coming up here, so we'll see how it lives through that and more long term. Thank you for watching and have a great day.